Hey there, welcome back to the channel and another solo analysis. Today we have the same shirt again, but we have a different solo. It's a solo from John Mayer from the John Mayer trio era, and we're looking at the solo from Come When I Call. And I've chosen a version from live at the Bowery Ballroom, not the version from Where the Light Is, because from Where the Light Is, that version you can already find a lot of transcriptions, and I actually think the version from Bowery Ballroom is a little bit better. Again, if you like these videos, these solo analysis videos, please subscribe because I want to make more content for you. Anyway, here's the solo. Okay, let's have a look at this great blues solo by John Mayer. He's playing over a blues in G, so he's using the G7 chord, the C7 chord, and the D7 chord. And you can always make these chords 9 chords, so G9, C9, and D9. He's using the G minor pentatonic scale, so G, B flat, C, D, F. But he's also adding notes like the A, which is the 9, the E, the 6th, of course the B, which is the major 3, and of course the flat 5, which is the D flat. If you move this over to the 8th position and you play E, G, A, B flat, C, D flat, D, then we have the B.B. King box like we've seen in the Robin Ford solo. It fits really well underneath your fingers and it sounds really good. And actually the first chorus, John is only using this B.B. King box. Let's start with the first lick. It's over here. It starts like this. You're bending the A to the B flat. And also take care of the vibrato on the G. That's really the B.B. King sound. Try to get a really nice vibrato. If I don't do it, it sounds like this. It's not as interesting. Let's continue with the second part. We're playing a hammer-on pull-off to the A, G to A, pull-off. But we're not going to the G, we're going to a high D. And this interval G, D, it's a 5th. It really has a nice sound. And this part, E, D, G, we're seeing this a lot in the solo. Technically it's a bit challenging because you have to skip the B string. But it's a really cool sound. Again, bending the A to the B flat. And then the flat 5. Let's continue over here. We have double stops. Then again the hammer and pull off G to A, Then we're bending the D to the E. So the D to the 6th, the 5th to the 6th. The E sounds really well in a G chord. It's a 13. And of course in the C chord, it's a major 3. Also technically take care of muting the strings, because then you can hit the strings really hard instead of I can rake into the note. And I'm muting the strings with my index finger and sometimes also with my middle finger. But now I'm using the index finger because I'm bending the string and I have to use my middle finger for extra strength. And again, the same thing. This little pattern going to the high D, skipping the B string, E to D. And again, muting the strings so that I can really make an attack. And then we're over here and we have this typical B.B. King style lick. Muting the strings behind the notes so that I can really hit everything really hard. Okay, let's go into the last 4 bars of the first chorus. Bending again the A to the B flat, but then the B flat to the B. So minor to major. Again the same hammer pull off. Again the same pattern, E to D, bending the D to the E. Bending the B flat a little bit to the B, minor to major. And again this interval, the 5th. And don't forget the vibrato here. Otherwise it sounds like this. Let's go into the last chorus, the second chorus. It starts in the 15th position. And actually you're playing the first position of the pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic scale of G, and we're bending the F to the G, but we're going in steps. Sounds really nice. Double stops. Also sounds a little bit like Hendrix. And ending on the E again, which is the 13 of the G chords. Then again the same thing. And here again, hammer on to the A, pull off back to the G, same thing we've seen here. Sounds really well. Let's continue over the C chord. He's bending up to a high C, of course, a high C. Sounds really well in a C chord. Then 16th note. And the whole band is ending on this accent. So the drummer, Steve Jordan, is stopping there, is making a break. Also Pino Palladino, the bass player, is playing this break. So I think this solo is a little bit composed, because everybody knows the break is coming, but it's really cool, it sounds really well. Also in the recording from Where the Light Is, he's doing the same thing, so that this has to be composed. But it's a really nice thing, and it makes the solo even more interesting. Let's continue with this. It's a little sweep. So with sweep, you're sweeping the pick over the strings. Then going back to a little part of the G chord, and I'm playing this F, B, D. So the 7, the major 3 and the 5th. I actually think John was playing this. So not the major 3 but the 9. So I might have made a mistake there. excuse me, sorry. Then back to the high pentatonic scale, hammer to the major 3, going back to a low G chord. So it's kind of like accompanying yourself, playing a little solo, playing the chords, playing a little solo, playing the chord. It really works well in a setting like a trio setting, then when you don't have a harmony playing, so it sounds really full. Then we have this thing. It's like a question answer, high. And we're playing an E and a B flat, so the 6th and the flat 3. Again, really mutes the strings behind those notes so you can hit them really hard. And then the last part, going to the major 3 and ending with a pentatonic lick. But going to the major 3 again, really nice. And then this tritone thing, we've seen the same thing in the Robin Ford solo, tritone. So F, B, going to F sharp C, which is from the D chord. So that was the solo. It's a really short solo, it's only 2 choruses, but I think everything is packed in there to make a really great blues solo. You're using the minor pentatonic scale, but you're adding the 9, the 6th, the major 3, the flat 5. A lot of techniques like bends, hammer-ons, pull-offs, rakes, mutinous strings, vibrato, everything packed in the B.B. King box. I think it sounds really well, and I think John did a really great job of making this solo. And I actually think some of it is composed, like with the break, Steve Jordan, the drummer, Pino Palladino, the bass player, they have to know this, and you can also hear it in other recordings that are doing the same thing. So it's a really great solo, it's really good to study, and the most important thing, really take care of the rhythm and the phrasing. Pino and Steve are really a great rhythm section and playing really well, and John is really playing laid back and he's not rushing everything, and it works really well with the rhythm section. So that's something you really have to take note of, and when you're playing along with John, try to really feel hanging in the rhythm, hanging in the time. It really makes the blues solo even more special. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Again, please subscribe, and I hope to see you next time, because next time we're having another great solo.